Right at the very beginning of Parashat Shoftim, Moshe Rabbeinu commands us, Shoftim v'Shotrim titen lecha b'chol sharecha. Appoint judges and officers to take control, to establish law and order in the land that eventually you're going to arrive in. And what would that have sounded like over the long years of Galut? Shoftim, or for the Jews living outside of the land of Israel, judges were those who sometimes were corrupt, accused Jews of horrendous crimes they didn't commit. Police officers, could they be trusted? What would that have sounded like to the Jews in Eastern Europe a couple of 100 years ago? It would have had a very negative word association, and the very concept of living in a homeland and being able to create law and order and a structured, just society would have sounded like a dream, but not something they would have automatically been able to relate to. So it's quite fascinating that in the world of Hasidic thought, the opening pasuk in this week's parasha has a very different meaning. Rav Levi Yitzchak Barditch of Zechuto Yagen Aleinu says as follows: Dinei Kadosh Baruch Hu Shofetet Knesset Yisrael. Hashem is going to judge us. Why? Parashat Shoftim is always read in the Kodesh Elul, just before perhaps. We're going to have a day of judgment. And we're going to want to be found innocent in our court case against Hashem. We can't speak about national judges and police officers because that doesn't make sense. We can speak about it on an individual level because we are all at this time in the year building up, preparing ourselves for our court case. And the Barditchever says, and how are we going to get Hashem to judge us with chesed? If we judge others favorably, then we are going to be mitorah, we're going to arouse the divine quality of chesed, and then Hashem will judge us with chesed. And how do we do that? And he reads it into the pasuk. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sharecha. If you in your gates, in your life, in your speech, in your attitude, judge others in that way, v'shavtur ta'am mishpat tzedek, then we will arouse divine mercy. A far more palatable understanding of a pasuk for Jews living at a time when the judges and the police were people to be feared, not people you could rely on, and having a country we have our own system seemed so far removed. But what would it have sounded like? What was Moshe Rabbeinu trying to get us to think about? Parashat Re'eh, we had such religious laws. Get rid of Avodah Zarah. Only bring korbanot on certain places, on the Bet HaMikdash, what you can and can't eat. Festivals, pilgrimages, time for Aliyah LaRegel. Then we come to this week's parasha, and it seems like, where have we gone? Courts, police officers, is that really where we're at on a religious level? Does that really make a lot of sense? And for the Torah's message, it does. How so? What does the pasuk say? If you get it right, leman tichyeh v'yarashta ta'aretz, you'll then have the good fortune, you'll then inherit the land. Asher Hashem Elokecha noten lecha, Hashem your God is giving to you. Asks the Chatam Sofer, what do you mean? V'yarashta ta'aretz, why do you need to inherit the land? Surely the land was given to Avraham Avinu as a gift. So we know halachically that a gift is not something that always has to be yours. We know from the laws of Arba Minim. It can be a matana, amanat lahachzir. You can give someone a present, and it can revert back to the original owner at a certain point. A Yerusha is something that's permanent. For the land to remain ours permanently, then we need to we need to have a justice system. They have to make sure no bribery, and this is part of how we're going to have a morasha, how we're going to keep the land to ourselves. But in so many other religions, what do we find? We find there's a clear division between citizenship and regular, seems to be secular living, and then in Torah world, nothing is divorced from Torah, not even the court system. Magid devarav li'Yaakov chukav mishpatav li'Yisrael. Hashem gave us a system of justice, a system of laws, and that is part of our religious system. Yes, we're allowed to say chokhmah b'goyim. Yes, there's wisdom, and in different religious systems, different societies, there is wisdom in the court system. That's true. But Torah b'goyim say that there is divine knowledge. Al Tamin, don't believe in that. Remember Avraham Avinu? How did Hashem praise him just before he decided to destroy Sodom and Amorah? Ki yidatu, Hashem said, I know about Avraham. Leman asher yitzabet banav b'nei beito acharav v'shamru derech Hashem. The path of Hashem is what? La'asot tzedakah or mishpat. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling the Jewish people, telling the Bnei Israel, there is no difference between religious law and secular law. It's not that religious law takes you into the heavens and you're divorced and separated from reality. Reality is what it is. Religious law, bringing in judges that can judge ethically and morally, a society that's based on mishpat and tzedakah, is the ultimate society that Moshe Rabbeinu is employing the Jewish people to want to create when they go into the land of Israel. There is no separation of church and state in terms of that. It doesn't matter how you behave. Hashem's going to turn a blind eye. This is secular. This is religious. Parashat Re'eh gave us those very clearly defined aspects of our covenantal relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Parashat Shoftim continues that very same line of thought. There is no schism between the two. If we want to be the people that Hashem wanted us to be, then we need to recognize the justice system is part of it. So now, Baruch Hashem, we can live in a land and we can try and contemplate the very meaning of Shoftim and Shotrim and what that looks like in a Jewish state. For our ancestors that lived long ago, then it was a dream to have a homeland, but not something that was a reality, and therefore it was taken on a much more personal level, like in the world of Hasidic thought, that the judges are the way we judge ourselves in order to get a mishpat chesed, a good judgment, a kind judgment, not just for ourselves, but for the whole of the Jewish people. Ultimately, if we synthesize both of these together, the vision is chesed and mishpat in our society, and blessings for all. Shabbat Shalom.